The last time we traveled out of Union Station in DC, we were heading northward up to Chicago, and Union Station was not as nice as it is now. It was not as clean, there were problems with vagrancy, and there weren't as many services, restaurants, and stores. So it's definitely improved. On this trip, we're traveling south from Union Station to Charleston, South Carolina. Tickets are much more reasonable if they're bought well in advance. We actually paid for these ones with points. I have an Amtrak Rewards MasterCard, and we tend to use it for eating out. And in about 6 or 7 months, I managed to accrue enough points to pay for 4 round trip tickets for adults, which is that's a heck of a deal. So this is our journey, Charleston. And I wanted to capture some of these videos and pictures so that if you are taking the Palmetto, you'll know what to expect and can have a journey that's hopefully as safe and happy as we had. To be completely honest, the bathrooms are never as clean at the end of a rail journey as they are in the beginning. So we got this footage at the beginning of the journey and they were super clean and dry. However, the train is moving and it's shaking, and water tends to end up on the floor. I don't think it's actually urine or anything really yucky. I think it's water. Obviously, I have no way to test it, but I do know when I wash my hands on a moving, shaking train, water goes everywhere. So, if you're the sort of person that's absolutely skeeved out by less than stellar bathrooms, you're probably not going to enjoy this at all. Well, at the end of the journey. So, go do your business at the beginning of the journey when the bathrooms are still clean. There is no place to change a baby in any of the bathrooms that I saw on the train. However, got 2 kids of my own, and I'm a pediatric nurse, and I have definitely changed babies in, well, way less ideal conditions than this. So, once I discovered that there was, in fact, a transfer shelf, bench, whatever you wanna call it, and realized it flipped down, I'm not sure you could change a large, tall toddler on this, but, if you're flexible and young, you could probably change a baby. If your child is much older, you might wanna pack pull-ups or put them in pull-ups and change them standing up. So, mid-morning, this train passed us. This is the auto train coming from gosh, where is it? Oh, Sanford, Florida, and it's almost to Lurton. So, mid-morning, this is what we saw. Auto train is quite something. If you're curious about it, go ahead and check out one of the many, many YouTube videos on the auto train. It is a very popular and profitable train for Amtrak. It is a lot larger than the Palmetto. The Palmetto only has 4 coach cars and 1 business class car. It does not have a dining car. The Palmetto also does not have an observation car. It's more like it's a day train. It's a regional train for people who are going from cities in the southeast. So it is what it is. It's also quite reasonable. The auto train is great if you're a snowbird or you're going out to Florida, but it is far more expensive. The Palmetto is relatively cheap option, especially if you get your tickets with points. But considering that it's about the same amount of time to ride the Palmetto down to the south as it is to drive, you don't have to stop for gas, you don't have to pay tolls, you don't have to stop for the bathroom or to eat or anything. You just get on and you can literally take a nap. The seats are that comfortable. Forgot to mention the Palmetto goes from New York pretty early in the morning going south down to Savannah, and it gets there pretty late, 9 o'clock. It does tend to make all of its stops on time. We got to all the stops on time going southbound, and then again going north, we got to all of our stops on time. So if you're going northbound, you're gonna get to the end of the line in New York pretty late, and if you're going southbound, you're gonna get into Savannah pretty late. It's gonna be 9-ish by the time you get there. But we just went from DC to Charleston, and I think we got on the station both times between 9 and 10. Sorry, got on the train between 9 and 10, and then we got there, uh, between 6 and 7. So, it's not a bad ride. Bob and I packed a lunch, and we just ate sandwiches and some snacks at the seat, but the kids wanted something hot, and they also wanted some fruit punch and iced tea. And confess, I wanted a Diet Coke. So we went down to the cafe car, and they ended up getting the macaroni and cheese. It's pretty reasonably priced, in my opinion, but I'm used to DC prices. They liked it so much, they got the exact same thing on the way home later on when we were going north. So it's good. I had a bite,
US
tasted a
Selma,
little
only
salty,
exit.
but it was good.
US Selma, only exit.
These paper tags are attached above the heads of the seats on the luggage rack to indicate to the conductor where you're supposed to get off. So if you fall asleep and the conductor notices that you're supposed to get off at the next stop or two, he'll wake you up. About halfway through North Carolina, the train started to thin out, and about 50% of the passengers were gone. So we finally got four seats together. And shortly after that, we started to get hungry for dinner. So we headed back to the cafe car. And what did? Oh, that's right. It was cash, cards, or tap to pay. And my oldest wanted a yogurt parfait. So she said it was good. It was fresh. Apparently, lots of fruit. In fact, so much fruit she didn't want it all. And Bob got a stromboli, and he said, "It's okay for a frozen stromboli." So, it is what it is. It's don't expect too much. However, I was very happy with my chicken Caesar salad. It was fresh. All the greens were really, really crisp. There was plenty of chicken breast in there, plenty of dressing, and some nice croutons. I have zero complaints about this. My youngest elected to stay back at the seat while we went to the cafe car. We packed snacks. We packed plenty of snacks both ways. So you are allowed to eat in the seats in the coaches, or you can go to the cafe car, get what you want to eat or drink, and then take it back to your seat and eat there. It's really no big deal. You cannot bring your own alcohol on board. That is the one rule that I can remember. But other than that, the scenery was fantastic coming into Charleston. I will include footage of the Charleston station in the next video. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you want.